All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the October 9th Town Board meeting. If you'd all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would the clerk please call roll?
Supervisor Dwyer?
Here.
Councilman Cole?
Here.
Councilman D'Angelo?
Here.
Councilman Manley?
Here.
Councilman Shuback?
Thank you. I make a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes of September 25th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion that we accept the meeting of the public hearing on September 25th, introductory local law number 2 of 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. I make a motion that we pay all audited bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Board's correspondence is listed as addendum number 1. Is there any discussion from the board on correspondence? Okay. We will move right into reports of boards and department heads, beginning with Police Chief John Rader.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just a short report tonight. Apple Fest was this past Sunday. It was very well attended. I want to thank and commend the officers from our department, as well as the support we received from local, county, and state agencies. The safety and security plan is a big undertaking for an event of this size, and all the efforts that were put forth is what ultimately kept it a safe day. Little announcement to do with the village. Their new skate park is set to open on October 18th. It is mostly completed, and we're getting a lot of anxious people using that park instead of the old park. The village has requested that our units assigned there could move them back to the other park. So I just figured if I announce it here, if anyone's watching and they know where they're dropping their kids off, it's best to drop them off at the
Floyd, stop using the skate
existing park. Last Wednesday, the police department received the Orange County Executive's Meritorious Award for our efforts at the Jennings Creek fire last November. Just wanted to bring that to the board's attention. We're honored and humbled by their by the presentation that they made. This past Saturday, our retired canine Nikki passed away at the age of 16. Most dogs of that breed last about 8 to 10 years, so Nikki had 16 good years. He was assigned to Officer Halsey from 2012 to 2021, and he was a very active dog during those times. One of the hardest workers we had in the department during those 9 years. And lastly, I would like to just read a letter that we received from the Pine Island Ambulance Corps commending our officers for the actions on a recent call. So I'm writing this letter of commendation to formally recognize the outstanding actions of Sergeant Kearns and Officer McNamara during a recent cardiac arrest. Upon arrival, Sergeant Kearns and Officer McNamara immediately assessed the situation and began life-saving measures without hesitation. Their swift response, calm under pressure, and dedication to duty exemplified the highest standards of this department and the policing profession. Through their coordinated efforts with EMS, the patient was given the greatest possible chance of survival. Their professionalism, quick thinking, and compassion reflect great credit upon themselves and serve as an excellent example of what it means to go above and beyond in service to our community. It is with sincere appreciation that I commend Sergeant Kearns and Officer McNamara for their exceptional performance. Their actions on that day embody the values of courage, integrity, and service that define this department. And that was from 2nd Lieutenant and EMT Liam Kohler. That's all I have, unless there's any questions from the board.
Any questions from the board?
No.
Thank you.
Just want to clarify the reason that the county did that commendation this time, so long after the fire, was because they do it once a year, and October is before November, and that's why it took them so long to do it. But congratulations to you and the department on earning that recognition.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. DPW Commissioner Astorino. Good evening, Ben.
Okay, our paving is completed for the town of Warwick this year. We just have one road with some edges. We were going to do Round Hill Road. Our line striping program has been completed. We did do some work on Sleepy Valley Road. We did some ditching. We replaced 80 feet of 15-inch of driveway pipe, cleaned up some ditches up there. We are repairing some basins. We did Meadow Ridge Road, we did 2 basins there. Windmill Lane, we did 2 basins. Panorama Drive, we did a basin out there. We are ditching Amity Road, and as I said, Sleepy Valley Road. Potholes are still filling with hot mix. Our trucks are being prepped for the winter. As we speak, they will all be inspected, and probably towards the end of the month, to watch the weather, the wing plows will be put on. We were also out with the road mower, with the boom mower, continuously mowing with that on a daily basis. So, like I said, our salt is filled up right now. We have a new salt vendor this year, Appalachia Salt. Hopefully they work better than we had last year, and we'll be prepping for the winter months very shortly. Any questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
I have a question. When do you plan on closing the bathrooms at the town parks? So I can,
Probably November. We want to wait for the soccer, the games to be all done. That's usually early to mid-November.
thank you.
We'll let you know, Madam Clerk.
One question.
That's a good question. We were getting calls today about when our summer water gets shut off, so people are going to start wondering. Summer water? Yeah. All right, DPW Commissioner McPherson. Good evening.
Brief report tonight. Our guys finished quarterly meter readings at all water districts. We had some assistance from our new guy, our new part-timer, who's been a great help lightening the load, so that worked out well so far. Our guys fixed 2 leaks on the Greenwood Lake Summer System, one on Indian Trail North, one on Deer Trail South, and we'll be shutting that summer water down next Wednesday, October 15th for the season. It might take a day or 2 to run out once we shut it off, but October 15th is the date. Just to mention again, we're planning right now to flush all hydrants in all districts the last week of October, the 27th through the 31st. We're tentative on that right now. I'll let you know a hard date, but that's what we're aiming for right now. Price Chopper wastewater plant, we had budgeted to do some upgrades that included replacing sand filter media as well as some electrical upgrades, and all those have been completed, and that plant is in good shape. The main wastewater plant, our guys continue to make small repairs and do maintenance to keep the plant going to the best of its ability while we continue to work with the engineers toward our goal of the plant upgrade. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Matt? Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Recreation Director Walter.
Thank you, Supervisor. My report's mainly about Mountain Lake Park. It's still busy with fall events happening, and lots of folks are getting out and playing pickleball or hiking the trails. I've seen a lot of activity at the new trail, the Cascade Longhouse Creek Trail, which is great. Just wanted to caution folks that as leaves come down, the trail can get slippery, especially over rocks. Sometimes the leaves will hide roots and things like that on the trails, so just take your time and enjoy your hike. Also, we have some upcoming plays at the park. It's Core Theater's group play called Sweeney Todd. It's a spooky thriller for the fall season. Performances are October 17th at 7 p.m., October 18th at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., and October 19th at 3 p.m. So if you want some more information about tickets, you can go on to Core Theater Group's website. Work on the arts building is started back up, and they're making progress, which is great. There are some large piles of gravel towards that end of the park, but hopefully those will be in the hole soon. Things will look better. But the theater's open, the arts building's open, so things are heading in the right direction now, which is great. And construction on the pool should start next week, hopefully. And that's it for my report.
Thank you for all your patience during this unbelievable project that we're undertaking up there. Much needed project, but very, very difficult and challenging one. So thank you
Right.
for all your extra work.
No problem.
Any questions for Sam?
Yeah, do you have any specific dates in mind to close the pickleball courts, or just as long as the weather prevails?
As long as the weather prevails. So some people will still come out when it's cold, but again, those could be slippery in the mornings with the dew. So I would just wait till things dry up a little bit.
Great, thank you.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Okay, moving right into town board reports, beginning with Councilman D'Angelo.
Okay, good evening. For the Humane Society, the Warwick Humane Society welcomes 2 new staff members, to help care for the community's homeless pets. They are still seeking one more local person with a passion for animals to complete their team. It must be 21 years or older, clean background and driver's license, able to work long hours including weekends and holidays, and lift 50-plus pounds as needed. The animal care position includes feeding, cleaning, medicating, and socializing training. You send a resume to warwickhumane@yahoo.com. And she wants to thank you to those who, for the supply donations received since the last meeting. The equine pine pellet bedding is always needed and can be purchased at Waitson's Home Center or Tractor Supply as a single bag or by pallet. And there have been several recent bite reports received by Animal Control. Be sure to keep all dogs, cats, and ferrets up to date on the rabies vaccination to avoid quarantine if a bite occurs. The New York State mandates that all dogs must be licensed with a town clerk on a yearly basis. Up-to-date rabies vaccinations protect family, friends, neighbors, and pets, and the licensee is accepted as this proof of ownership. The supplies they need is alfalfa hay for 14 rabbits available for adoption, equine pine bedding for litter for over 150 cats and kittens, bleach for laundry and disinfecting the kennels of 24 dogs. So after the Humane Society, as far as the friendly visiting program goes, the number of neighbors visited in September was 24. The total number of volunteers assisting those neighbors was 20. And the total number of services provided by the volunteers, is 171, which is incredible. Those 20 people did 171 services. There will be volunteer training for the Friendly Visitor Program on 2 dates, October 16th at 5 p.m. and October 28th at 5 p.m. Now, these are virtual training dates. Pre-approval is required to attend the training, so you have to contact them at 845-341-1173, extension 305, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councilman Cole?
No report.
Councilman Mattingly?
The Warwick Chamber will hold a ribbon cutting for Resolve PT on Thursday, October 16th at 4 p.m., 1751 New York 17A in Florida, New York. Please join us in celebrating Resolve PT's newest location in Florida, specializing in physical therapy, sports performance, and recovery. This business will having you feel your best. As Chief Rader mentioned, the Warwick Skate Park will hold its ribbon cutting on Friday, October 17th at 4 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Park in the village of Warwick. The ribbon cutting is 10 years in the making. Come commemorate the ribbon cutting of the Warwick Skate Park on Friday and the grand opening to follow on Saturday. The Chamber will hold an after-hours mixer at the Pine Island Tap House on Thursday, October 23rd from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., 682 County Route 1 in Pine Island. Join us for an after-hours mixer and networking bingo at Pine Island Tap House from 5:30 to 7:30. The Village of Florida Chamber did not have any events listed. You can get more information about the Village of Florida Chamber at floridanychamber.com. The Pine Island Chamber of Commerce will hold a Pumpkin Fest on Monday, October 13th from 11 to 3 p.m. at Pine Island Park, Bouncy House, Touch a Tractor, pumpkin painting, and more. And finally, the Greenwood Lake Chamber of Commerce is currently holding the Savor the Lake event from October 6th through 17th. The Greenwood Lake Chamber of Commerce Restaurant Week. Find your new favorite eatery at participating restaurants in Greenwood Lake. And the Greenwood Lake Chamber Fall Mixer is Wednesday, October 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. at Trails End Tap House, 1197 State Route 17A. Free admission for members, $10. For non-members, light bites provided and cash bar. That's all I have, Supervisor.
Okay. Councilman Schuback,
Nothing to report at this time.
Town Clerk Astorino.
Okay, so the fees collected for September 2025 were $50,851.24, and the fees paid out were $13,998.65. We also have a bid proposal for temporary shoring at the Mountain Lake Park. The first proposal was from Gable, I don't know how to say this, Patzuk? Kevin, am I pronouncing it right? P-A-T-Z-U-K? Is that?
Sounds right.
Hold it,
Sounds right.
okay. It was for $11,500. I apologize if I pronounced it wrong. Second is Valanga Construction for $10,000, and the third was from Eden Restoration for $24,000. And that's all I have.
Okay, my report. It's been a very busy couple of weeks for me and for a lot of us, dealing with contract negotiations, budget work, and wrapping up some of the big projects that concluded over the last couple of weeks. One update on the DOT road work. We did provide an extension of the DOT to continue working in the area of Pennings and Vernon so that they could try to wrap up that section of paving and road work before the end of the year, and then they'll be able to move on to the roundabout in the spring of 2026. We did speak with Steve Pennings, the owner of Pennings, and he was also in the same mindset that we want to try to get this project out of that area. We do not want to restart again in the same area. Obviously, this will be weather dependent, but the goal of the contractor and the DOT is to have that section of Route 94 paved from the New Jersey border down to basically ShopRite, Price Chopper intersection. And they're hoping to accomplish that by the end of this year. And again, that's weather dependent. The Village of Warwick has ongoing overnight construction at the intersection of West and Main Street. So just expect some delays there. They're trying to obviously do it overnight so that they're not competing with all the traffic that goes through that intersection during the day. We understand that it's an inconvenience to those who live in that area, but again, these projects need to move on and move out. So we're trying to do everything we can. The Village of Florida is dealing with some significant traffic issues and a lot of traveling issues related to the work that's going on there. It seems that the project was a little bit behind schedule. They're trying to accomplish a lot in a very short period of time before the weather window closes, and there's a lot of work that needs to happen in the Village of Florida and the Village of Warwick. So they want to try to get as much work done as possible so that they can get a jump start on starting in the spring of next year. There's a lot of traffic. The Village of Florida has been doing a very good job communicating with the public on what information they're getting, but just like us, it's very difficult to get information from the DOT, so we have to rely on information from the contractor. But oftentimes the contractor is limited in what they can say to even municipalities. So we're all trying to work with the best information possible, and sometimes that information is not the best for us or the best for residents. So traveling through the Village of Warwick and the Village of Florida is been restricted a bit. We appreciate everybody's patience, and I think everyone is on the same page that this work needed to be done, and we're going to have to deal with a little bit of pain before it gets any better. Sam mentioned the work at Mountain Lake Park. We are moving back on track with the water infiltration project. We did some waterproofing there, and now they're going to do some of the drainage work that needed to happen. And again, this was to protect the infrastructure at this park and the buildings that we use for facility rentals, both for not-for-profits and for-profit purposes. We have schools renting this. We have theater companies renting this. We've got some great shows and great plays coming up at the Mountain Lake Park Theater. So we want to try to protect this investment as much as we possibly can. The Wickham Sewer District grant announcements are scheduled to be published in both November and December. And obviously, the town board is waiting on getting those announcements before we make any decision on how we proceed with the Wickham Sewer District upgrade project. And we'll certainly let the public know as soon as we get more information. Jane Street Bridge in the Village of Florida continues to undergo design work and surveying and land acquisition that will be needed for that improvement project. Again, we got a full grant to cover the cost of the Jane Street Bridge replacement project, but unfortunately, it's a state-funded grant, and we have to follow the timeline that is set by the state and the DOT. And that also means that all specifications for the design and the construction must meet DOT and federal guidelines. So makes the project a little more expensive and certainly drags it on versus if we were to spend town money, but at the end of the day, property taxes are not paying for this. State taxes will be, and federal dollars will be. We had a meeting last week with the, what will be the first affordable lot subdivision project in the town of Warwick since having this law in effect in over 22 years. The newspaper published my quote of, I threw out a number that was an estimate, but it seems that they took it as a fact. The actual number for the affordable lot will be closer to $380,000. So a home in this particular subdivision could go from anywhere between $800,000 to $1.1 million. The affordable lot will have to be sold for no more than $380,000 if that were to happen today. This number is tied to interest rates, so that could fluctuate as this happens. The first affordable lot is scheduled to be constructed in 2027. The town will begin the affordable lot lottery in the early part of 2026. You can check the town code, just search affordable lot, and you will get more information on who would qualify for the affordable lot. We'll be publishing in the early part of January, February, all of the details on this lottery and who qualifies and how you can enter into it and every other detail you could possibly need for this. So stay tuned, pay attention. You could potentially land yourself a $900,000 house for $380,000. This one subdivision in particular will be offering 3 of the affordable lots, and we've got another subdivision that's currently in the works that will have 1. So potentially 4 affordable lots as part of this law on our books could be forthcoming within the next couple of years. Tomorrow we have a company coming in to do the feasibility study for solar. We had talked about it at our last town board meeting. The town board authorized me to enter into an agreement with a company that is state funded that will, at no cost to the town of Warwick, do a feasibility study and analyze whether or not solar would make sense for us and whether or not it would be cost effective. So we're going to start that process tomorrow. The town of Warwick is going to engage a law firm for a class action lawsuit against some chemical manufacturers for PFAS, PFAS, and PFOS in some of our water systems. Currently, we are not above the limits that are set by the state. However, there is no PFAS that is acceptable in our drinking water, so we will make every effort to remove any possible evidence of PFAS, and we will also be joining in a class action lawsuit that has the potential to pay for and reimburse the town for any costs associated with the removal of PFAS. I mentioned to the town board, we've been working on an initiative with our Climate Smart Committee and Sustainable Warwick to look at composting, more of a town-wide composting initiative. Right now, there's a very successful small-scale composting, both in the Warwick, what's it called? Farmers Market and the Greenwood Lake Lakeside Farmers Market, and they've been doing a really good job. So we've done it at a small scale very successfully. We are going to take a tour of some bigger scale composting facilities in the New Paltz area and see how they're doing it, how much it costs, and what the benefit to the town is. I see this as a major cost savings for some of our businesses, and if we can incorporate the school districts to begin a large-scale composting operation, that could have the potential result of lowering school taxes because of the amount of carting and the carting costs associated with just taking and transporting school lunches and other scraps that could otherwise be composted. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to tour some facilities and begin a feasibility study on whether or not composting would make sense for the town of Warwick at a larger scale level. That concludes my report for now. We will open it up to privilege of the floor on any agenda items. Now we'll proceed into new business and resolutions, which is listed as addendum number 4.
Motion to adopt a resolution granting permission for the following applicants to serve alcohol at Town of Warwick parks and rental facilities. All applicants have filed a certificate of liability and liquor liability of insurance in the clerk's office. Applicants as follows.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve St. Stephen's CYO special event permit to have a 5K run turkey trot on Thursday, November 27th, 2025, from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Application and insurance are in file in the town clerk's office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to approve a mental health and depression awareness event by Ben Winstanley Park in Greenwood Lake New York, on October 26, 2025, from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to waive the application and rental fees to use Ben West Stanley Park for a mental health and depression awareness special event.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to refund the remaining escrow in the amount of $676.44 back to Charles Brown for a completed planning project at 75 Belcher Road, as per letter dated September 5th, 2025, from the Planning Board Secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to accept bid proposal from Velenga Construction for temporary shoring at the Mountain Lake Park in the amount of $10,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to reclassify Tyler Rader from account clerk to non-competitive position under the NY Helps program effective September 29th, 2025.
Second.
Uh,
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to amend R 2025-164 contract agreement with Ground Control Excavating, Inc. to replace the existing culvert at Lowell Road from $746,607.80 to $956,685.80 due to unexpected site conditions.
Second.
And just discussion, this is all reimbursable by FEMA. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to accept notice of intent letter from the Town of Warwick heavy equipment operator, Timothy Fiegels, dated October 2nd, 2025, for the purpose of retirement at least 6 months after notification of intent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to authorize the supervisor to sign an engagement letter with Goldberg Segala Law Firm.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to release partial amount of performance bond for Warwick Isle Group LLC, Warwick Isle Subdivision, Section 1, for $391,234, as per recommendation letter from the town engineer dated October 3rd, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Motion
carried.
to accept the resignation of part-time police officer Ryan King effective immediately.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Motion to create a part-time position for a building maintenance mechanic.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to authorize the supervisor to sign an agreement with the Village of Florida for the 2026 control of snow and ice on Glenmore Avenue in the sum of $4,000.
Second.
This is at no increase year over year, and this is something that we've been doing for many years. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion to authorize supervisor to sign a retainer agreement with Napoli Schlocknick, PLLC law firm, to represent the town in a class action lawsuit on PFAS and PFOS in our water system.
Second.
I forgot to mention that we don't pay the law firm unless we get paid. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. That's interesting. All right, at this time, we'll open it up to privilege of the floor on any general topic. Nothing? Okay. We are going to go, the town board is going to go into executive session for contractual matters relating to staffing issues. If anybody decides to stay, the next, any decision that we make, anything that will be done in the public, will be done by the viewing public at home and also open to the public. No decisions will be made during executive session. Only conversations relating to contractual matters will be discussed. The next town board meeting will be Thursday, October 23rd, 2025 at 7 p.m., and it may be preceded by a workshop as early as 5:30 p.m. May I have a motion to go into executive session for the contractual matters?
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Okay. We will reconvene this meeting when we are finished with our session. You're all free to stay or go home. All right, may I have a motion to close executive session?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Town Board went into executive session to discuss contractual matters with our employees, and we are not making any decisions this evening. It was just an update and discussion on a contractual matter. The next Town Board meeting will be Thursday, October 23rd, 2025, starting at 7 p.m. right here in Town Hall. It may be preceded by a workshop, public workshop, as early as 5:30 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Everybody have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.